Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. We've got an interesting article here I wanted to show you all, so let's go to it right now and discuss with a few comments afterwards. So as you can see here, article reads as follows: Federal Reserve rolls out proposing rulemaking requiring stablecoin issuers to maintain customer identification programs. So it's a very pertinent topic. So here we go. On Thursday, the central bank released a 130-page rulemaking to implement a stablecoin bill passed into law, the Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoins Act. 5 members of the central bank voted to approve the proposed rule, with new Federal Reserve Chair Kevin Warsh abstaining from voting. Okay, so here we go. The Federal Reserve rolled out a rule proposal requiring stablecoin issuers to have a program in place to identify customers to combat illicit finance. So on Thursday, the central bank released that 130-page rulemaking as part of implementing a stablecoin bill passed into law called the Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoins Act, better known as the Genius Act. The rulemaking would more closely align standards under the Bank Secrecy Act that financial institutions follow. So the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, and the National Credit Union Administration were also involved in the proposed rulemaking. So 5 members of the central bank voted to approve of the proposed rule, with new Federal Reserve Chair Kevin Warsh abstaining. Fed Governor Michael Barr said he supported issuing the proposal, but said he had other concerns about whether the Genius Act goes far enough to address illicit finance risk in secondary market transactions. So, quote, while some digital asset service providers are subject to anti-money laundering and anti-terrorist financing requirements in their home jurisdiction, it is far too easy for bad actors to evade these restrictions and operate without detection when transacting in digital assets, Barr said in a statement. So the article finishes there. Not too long of an article, but ultimately, as we've discussed on previous videos, and this has really been ongoing for quite a long time, many months, really more than a year, perhaps closer to the duration of the presidencies, the administrations, which started, of course, in January of 2025 last year, about a year and a half now of trying to get this Genius Act under control. So this article is just letting people know that the Federal Reserve, which they say is the central bank, but that's perhaps a misnomer, is rolling out and proposing a rulemaking requiring the issuers of stablecoins to maintain customer ID programs. So I think that the logic that was brought about by, because the chair abstained, but then the other governor, one of the other governors of the Federal Reserve, Michael Barr, said he supports issuing the proposal, but said that there are other concerns to the Genius Act that goes whether it goes far enough to address illicit finance risk in secondary market transactions. So the key is secondary market transactions, basically meaning beyond the issuers or the people here that are issuing stablecoins. So once it reaches the secondary market, it's once again just as good as cash. So that's the article. We wanted to bring that to you because, of course, it's stuff we focus on. And as always, we are cryptodeposit.org, so we've got a ton of great things announced and to be announced soon. So once again, if you wanted to visit cryptodeposit.org, focus on fixed income, stables, yield, so many things to discuss, feel free to email us at info@cryptodeposit.org, and we can get you all onboarded, whether it's retail or institutional. Happy to discuss that. Plenty of languages as well for all of those who are not focused on English. We've got that dashboard. So tutorials also on the YouTube channel here for people interested. Once again, cryptodeposit.org, focused on fixed income, stable coins, borrowing and lending. There's an option for borrowing and lending. So everybody that wants to introduce or get started, feel free to explore more. And with that being said, wishing you all a wonderful day, wishing you all a wonderful evening, and we will see you on the next video coming up in just a little while on another really exciting topic. So have a good day, everybody. See you soon.